Today, my topic is going to be summarized into 4 sections, and all 4 sections relate to the Igbos of Nigeria, on Igbo leadership or lack thereof. Note the way that I did the introduction as it comes up. You're going to hear sound bites of those different things that I told you I addressed here. The young Igbo lady talking to Yoruba people and praising them. The Igbo lawyer from Enugu talking about Igbo leadership or lack thereof. Aisha Yesufu talking. I'm just going to give you initial sound bites of what they said down the line. That's to prepare your mind for what you're going to hear. You're really going to enjoy this.
Now, our second guest is a lawyer, politician, and public affairs analyst, Dr. Chima Nnaji. And he now joins us to assess the performance or lack thereof of governors in the southeastern parts of the country.
Where really is the problem with the southeast governors? Is it about the fact that there is no oil windfall coming to them? Or is it about the fact that, as some people have observed, there is really no leadership when it comes to the collective administration of the southeastern interest? Will that be the trouble with the southeast?
Then it also addressed situations where all Nigerians have a way of trying to knock heads against each other. And there's an impersonator that was trying to sound like an Igbo person, talking to Igbos about how they need to look within and see that they are creating so many problems in Nigeria. It's an impersonator. It's not an Igbo person.
We are a people that destroyed Nigerian regional system of government. We are a people that believe that we are the dominant tribe, that believe that the Igbos are the most important tribe in Nigeria, but yet we condemn Fulani for dominating the Nigerian politics.
Then there is a young Igbo lady that just gives all kinds of kudos to Yorubas and a certain aspect of their tolerance. And I thought that was a beautiful thing coming from an Igbo person and talking about a Yoruba person.
I think black people as a whole can learn a thing or two from the Yoruba people of Nigeria. I mean, one thing I love about these people is the fact that they treat religion the way it's supposed to be treated.
And then I ended it with who else but Aisha Yesufu stepping in, and it was a very appropriate time for her to step in and tell Igbos that, hey, forget all the distractions. Don't worry about people who are trying to create distractions and make it seem like you're just calm down, do your thing, don't worry about anybody. I think you're just gonna like this.
I see many of you most times talk about the fact that you are hated all over Nigeria, that you're the tribe that is most hated. And I said to you, why not? Why shouldn't you be the tribe that is most hated? You have to understand something. The hatred or anger or annoyance or whatever it is that people exhibit towards you, it's not personal.
Hello, everybody. Once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Allen TV. And as usual, I like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on where you are around the world. This is actually a replay of one of my favorite episodes from the past. I think you're just gonna like this. And it's in my continued spirit of saying, no more name calling, no more personal attacks. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna address political situations and social situations in Nigeria in form of satire. And when you see me talking about it, it's usually gonna be me saying it or me playing what other people are saying.
We are a people that will kill our fellow brother because of a piece of land. We are a people that have so much hate and believe we are better than other tribes, that Igbo tribe is the best. We are a people with no respect for our Igbo women. We are a people that hate Nigerians so much, but yet we are one of the people that have destroyed the image of Nigerians. We are a people that hate Fulanis. We are a people that hate Hausa people. We are a people that want Biafra, a place where there is no free speech. We are a people that have so much hate in our heart that even after we lost the civil war, we have not healed from the wound of the civil war. We are a people that want to be president of Nigeria, but yet we hate Nigeria so much. We are a people that will travel all over Nigeria to open up businesses, set up shops, set up investments, but anybody that comes to our land to try to invest, we label them as trying to come and take over our land. We label them as trying to come and take over our inheritance. We are a people that destroyed Nigerian regional system of government. We are a people that believe that we are the dominant tribe, that believe that the Igbos are the most important tribe in Nigeria, but yet we condemn Fulani for dominating the Nigerian politics. We are a people that hate the British, hate the Americans, hate the Europeans, but yet we want to play big in the world stage. We are a people that claim to be smarter than everybody, wiser than everybody, know everything than everybody, but yet our land is still underdeveloped. We claim no intention of domination, but yet we have our eyes on the Niger Delta and on Port Harcourt, because we know that the 5 eastern states is landlocked and it cannot stand on its own without those Niger Delta region. Why don't we change? Why don't we embrace peace and love in the Igbo?
I'm sure you're wondering, why am I showing this? Because Fred said he's no longer going to address these kind of stuff that are personal. Yes, I'm not. I'm not going to address personal in terms of naming people's names. I know I'm staying away from that. But I'm addressing this because I'm talking to Nigeria's progressives, Yorubas, Fulanis, Hausas, all the progressives in Nigeria. That's who I'm trying to talk to and say, hey, I'm an Igbo man that grew up in Lagos. I'm an Igbo man that prides myself in saying that I'm very national in my outlook. Don't believe these kind of things when you hear them. They are not good for our unity. They are not good for our collaboration. I'd like you to go back and re-listen. There is no Igbo person that calls Ndi Igbo Indigbo. There is no Igbo person that calls Enugu Enugu. There is no Igbo person that calls Daniel Nze Daniel Nze. And there is no Igbo person, except probably if they grew up in the West. But even at that, I grew up in the West. There is no Igbo person that says people. Igbos say people, and a bunch of other things. This guy had an agenda. I don't even think he was paid to do this. He's just overzealous and thought he'll record something, which is based on stereotypes we've all heard before. Igbos don't keep people away from Igbo land. That's why I brought you the Yoruba lady from Ibadan in the last episode, who was born in Enugu, went to primary and secondary school in Enugu, and spoke very generously about the hospitality that her and her family, father, mother, siblings included, God, and the only reason they left Enugu was that their father died and they had to relocate. If it wasn't for that, they were not going to leave. And you had several of those. So I thought I'll bring that and share with you. And if you notice, what I'm saying now is live from my new studio, but I try to dress exactly the way I dressed the day that I recorded that a year ago. Why can't we all just get along? Kì í ṣe pé mò ń try láti bash àwọn Yorùbá náà, ó tì. But video tí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn make àti gbogbo àwọn irọ́ tó pa nínú video yẹn is detrimental to unification in Nigeria. Ntokwe, if that's what people listen to and let their sentiments run wild, Bobonye might create problems between àwọn Igbo and àwọn Yoruba. What I just said in Yoruba language is that what that young man impersonating an Igbo person, knowing that he's not Igbo and he's likely a Yoruba person, was saying it's not good for the unification process of Nigeria. It riles up sentiments in a way that if it goes out of control, could create a lot of problems between Igbos and the Southwesterners. But before I play you the video of the lady I just described coming up, here is what I want to say about that last video. Igbos are not the most tribalistic Nigerians. All Nigerians are tribalistic. Igbos will sell land to anybody who needs land. If you don't cross the river Niger to go into Igbo land to live and work and even plan to stay, and you don't request that you need land and you want to buy land, nobody is going to sell you land. Igbos are buying land in Lagos and any place else because you are selling land to them. Every bad thing, every bad trait you see in an Igbo man, you can find in a Yoruba man. You can find in an Hausa man. You can find in a Fulani man, and a Do man, and a Bibio man, and a Ijaw man, and Urobo man, a Middle Belton, all across Nigeria. And every good you see in an Igbo man, you can duplicate in a Yoruba man, a Fulani man, an Hausa man. So let's stop this bashing and put our hands together as one people and understand that there are more things that unite us than things that divide us. Listen to this lady about the kudos she's given to Yorubas, something I think the rest of the country really need to think about and see that there are better ways to build bridges, whether it's on religious grounds or tribal grounds. Just listen to this lady. I love her tape, and I found it just before I went on air, and I thought I should bring this in as part of this discussion.
I think black people as a whole can learn a thing or two from the Yoruba people of Nigeria. I mean, one thing I love about these people is the fact that they treat religion the way it's supposed to be treated. I mean, you can easily see several Yoruba families with different family members practicing different religions. They have this freedom to the extent that they can easily switch in between religions, and sometimes if you are looking from the outside, you'll be confused and wondering, which religion is this person actually practicing? But now, I really admire their level of religious tolerance. If everyone could have the level of religious tolerance that they have, a lot of problems that we have in Africa would not be in existence. But think about it for a minute.
I just feel so good that I'm ending this on a high, starting with this lady and obviously ending up with Aisha Yesufu. I mean, the pride we can all feel and the lesson we can all learn Dr. Chima Nnaji's interview on Arise TV, where he talked about lack of Igbo leadership.
Our second guest is a lawyer, politician, and public affairs analyst, Dr. Chima Nnaji. And he now joins us to assess the performance or lack thereof of governors in the southeastern parts of the country.
Where really is the problem with the southeast governors? Is it about the fact that there is no oil windfall coming to them? Or is it about the fact that, as some people have observed, there is really no leadership when it comes to the collective administration of the southeastern interest? Will that be the trouble with the southeast from your own assessment?
There is a scramble for the southeast. A scramble in the sense that you don't want this child that was born to walk, because you believe that if the child walks, it might be able to challenge you to a duel. So in leadership recruitment in the southeast, the best is not usually the critical focus. It is those who will do the bidding of the masters that have been able to corner the power in the southeast, such that year after year the southeast remains a pygmy in terms of development, and yet you have giants in all fields of endeavor, in the business, in commerce, in academics, in creative industries, in their own individual way. But there's no effort because of that spirited element that is insistent on holding the southeast down through poor leadership. And where any leadership is about to show any desire, trouble is fomented for that person. Some people were promised that they will be made the president of this country, and they started jumping because somebody said, if you want me to behave like a monkey, you give me banana. So they threw banana and they started jumping like monkeys. These days we don't have focus. There's no philosophy. There's no ideological orientation. By leadership, a rudderless leadership will lead to no destination.
Dr. Nnaji, you described, referred to some of the southeastern governors earlier as crooks. Just curious as well, in light of your views around this topic, is there a particular governor or a couple of governors that you can say confidently have actually shown exemplary work in southeastern Nigeria?
Is it the current governors or just governors both in the past?
They can be governors of the past, somebody that gives us an idea of what you consider an exemplary governor from southeastern Nigeria.
If, for example, we have had a lot of issues or maybe testimonies about P2B, investment in education. There are things you invest in, they have multiplier. Human development has no alternative. Decay that is happening in the southeast is that there is no development that assures that there will be further development. In the sense that, for example, educational development. And many of these governors know better because their own children are being trained abroad. The very people.
Are you confirming that Peter Obi is a
yes.
person? Okay, just to clarify that.
Okay, all right.
Peter Obi was certainly one of the exceptions. Certainly one of the exceptions, because everybody has known now. I didn't know this much when he was the governor because he was not on the radar. But today, you can see how everybody has scrutinized him. The scrutiny on P2B is unprecedented. It is just like doctors going to the rectum and they could not find feces because the individual has been able to clean his system. They say that the position of the ego provides envy and jealousy in the kite, because the kite can never assail to the soaring height of the ego, if you get my drift. Some of these people think that once they say power should come to the southeast, they will position themselves to do what they had always known how to do best, how to kill the interest and motivation and the future of the southeast, and sell the thing on a platter of selfish aggrandizement. Those who are at the bus stop today, should not begin to bother about the kind of transport that will be available tomorrow. Let me just leave it at that. Does it not surprise you, if you want to use the word surprise, that every effort, frenetic effort is made to bring some of these characters on television to always say that Peter Obi will not win? If Peter Obi does not win, will he die? Because we know that it is only the man who has the ball that is tackled in a football tournament. And the tackle becomes very vicious if the price is very, very high. The point we are making, when you hear Peter Obi this, Peter Obi that, Peter Obi this, it is a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise. Peter Obi then comes in a puristic sense. So people say, but he was in PDP. He came from Abga. Would he have come from the moon? When you are a leader and when you were a follower, the difference is clear. Peter Obi has shown that his interest is to deliver this country from these unproductive elements who are interested in wasting our assets in the same way they have wasted their lives.
Wow. Wow. That was really ending it on the note it needed to end. That interview was about a year ago, before the election, actually. So it was before that. The reason I say that is the things that Barrister Nnaji said there relative to Peter Obi are some of the things that the obedience and the progressives in Nigeria need to have in mind. Knock on wood, thinking about 2027. With that said, let me also say that there is a new crop of governors in Igbo land. Much of the governors he referred to are in the crop of governors that already left. As I speak to you, Governor-elect Soti in Abia State, Governor Mba in Enugu State, and to some good extent, Governor Soludo in Anambra State are on the right track. My advice, though, is that these governors also need to be careful how they flirt with people whose interest is not in the best interest of the peoples of their states. By that, it's in line with me saying I'm no longer going to be naming names, but these governors need to use their tongues to count their teeth. And once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Allen TV. And until next time, good night and God bless.
Onye ọma zoro obi o, akwa nwa zoro obi o, Maxi ịbịa bunyegokwanụ m n'ofu ube n'azụ ụlaga n'ịbịazigo, mmanwụ ụlaga do n'ịbịazigo, akwa nwa ilochi o, biko rapụ zoro ka ọ nabazi ya. Onye ọma zoro de, abamma zoro de sari, ịbịa nwunye nukwana m ofu ube n'arụ ụlaga no n'ịbịazigo na zaboy, mma ụlaga do n'ịbịazigo, abamma ilochilo biko rapụ zoro anabazi ya. I'm a Oligwe ekwelu ike jọba belebege egwu kampụ na-ekene ọmọgọ ndị nsọ Chukwu emeka lụmụ ike Chukwu na-egaji ezi nwanne m ekene ịlapụlụ ife niile na-eme wee bịa ka gosili na anyị na gị bụ nwanne wisdom ga-adị ka nye gị maịkị ka ogobanya bụ egwu isili mmaksi ọ bụ na-etiri egwu a malụkwa malụ n'imego m ife ọjọọ wee sị gị nwanne m ife ọbụ na ịchọlụ na ngeme wisdom onume ekene gị gbamanwe iyo iyo biko lapụ nabasị ya zoro 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 Bieduru joy na bugwu Hausa Sokoto Ojembe enwilo anụ solo nwe ma n'ọfịa na-ara onye nwụrụ zuru ike
Wow. For a man who did everything he could to avoid stepping on toes, Dr. Chima Nnaji nailed the problems we have in Igbo land. But most importantly, directly or indirectly, he described the source of the problem. This brings me to the end of this episode. And basically, if you notice, what I was trying to do here is show that it's okay for misunderstandings to exist, but it's wrong for people to deliberately go out of their way to make up stories, like the guy who was faking his Igbo accent. When these things happen, people like me should bring it out, address it, and nip it in the bud. But at the same time, we need to create more programming to show our people more of the things that unite us and less of the things that divide us. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bull Talk on LNTV. And until next time, good night and God bless.